I am not on mute. Hi. Life and death is in the power of my tongue, and I choose to speak with truth, compassion, and most importantly, love. Okay. Hi. Okay. I have no idea what we're doing as usual, right? Um, we are going to tap into Angel Radio because I was told um, to do that. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. There's chatter already. There's been weird chatter all day, actually. Like lots of weird chatter on Angel Radio. So let me get my thoughts. Get my thoughts in order. um, I don't know where we're gonna have a visitation. I feel like we could, but I got my whiteboard just in case. So let me give you the word. Hold on. 2 Corinthians 5:21. God caused the one who didn't know sin to be sin for our sake, so that through him we could become the righteousness of God. Do you know what I heard? I gave you a walking, talking blueprint. The end. Yeah, I could take another route and go all that, but that's not what I heard. It's not what I heard. I heard I gave you a walking, talking blueprint. A walking, talking blueprint. Isn't that what Jesus was, my bro? Um, he was a walking, talking blueprint. Christ consciousness, I guess, what we call it now, but he was a walking, talking blueprint. He was an ascended master that came down and knew exactly what his task was supposed to be. And he was kind of irritated that, damn, that's my mission. I got to come down here and do this part. Okay. Everybody feels like that, or at least those that I know. Like you figure out what your mission is, and it changes your whole thought process on how to get through the mission. I hope I said that right. I know it makes sense to someone. I know it does. Okay. God is saying in that scripture, I gave you a walking, talking blueprint. I tell my daughter, when you're happy, imagine how much more happy God is, right? Baby, when you're sad, imagine how much more sad God is. Mhm. If God is the blueprint and he gave us a walking blueprint, wouldn't those match too? Your highs, your lows, your ups, your downs, every emotion you could possibly think of had to come from that one source, right? So it should repeat in you. Isn't that what your DNA does? It repeats. It repeats. Each and every one of us is a walking, talking blueprint, and each and every one of us has an opportunity to be built in the way the blueprint was created for. Okay. That's via Angel Radio. Now, I, oh, because I was using my app to read the scripture, I didn't put it on live on Facebook. So hold on. So, Facebook, you're a little bit behind. Please hop on to the first 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay, 555. On YouTube's live for that particular piece of the message. But basically, God made each and every one of us as a walking, talking blueprint of his energetic self. Okay. What else do we want to get from Angel Radio? Let's see. Father God, Divine Mother, appointed ones, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, Federation members, and all you beautiful, wonderful, lovely beings. Okay. Um, as always, life and death is in the power of my tongue, and I do choose to speak with truth, compassion, and most importantly, love. It's just falling all out of here. Oh my God. I do like the first two cards that fell out is Akashic Records, right? Akashic Records. That is you sitting with yourself or your highest self, right? To figure out your own blueprint. Some you should look at your birth chart, okay? Will all of it make complete sense? No. And if you don't understand all of it at one time, it's okay. Take your time. It's a lot. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot, okay? Please know that your ancestors are standing by as you go over your Akashic records so that you can go over them in private. Part of spiritual law, nobody should be in your Akashic records. They are yours. Your past, present, future, and current interdimensional space knowledge is in your Akashic records. It is yours. Okay? There are laws in the spirit just like they are anywhere else. Okay? Stay out of people's Akashic records. Okay? Your ancestors have their hands on it. For whoever I'm talking to, yes, somebody's been trying to tap in your records. That's the hand of destiny. That is the hand of destiny. Okay? hmm And only you get the invitation into that. Only you get the invitation to that, the dimensional gateway. Okay? That's what Akasha records do. The forwards, the backwards, the ins and the outs of it, right? What is that movie with the Marvels? Major's character, right? He had to go collect all of the me's, right? That's what this is. Your Akashic records have all of your me's in it. All of your me's. Uh, a good movie to watch that goes over all of the me's. Hold up, y'all. With Michelle Yao. I gotta look it up. Hold on. It was so good. I still feel like I need to watch it a few more times. Everything, everything, everywhere, all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Okay. There we go. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Okay. And if, or was that part of the Ant Man movies? I feel like he shows up in one of the Ant-Man movies, but then he also shows up in the end of the Loki series, right? But basically, it was him trying to protect the world from all the me's which created the world that did the me's in, or are trying to do the me's in. But it is absolutely all of his me's. Okay? You have lots of me's out there. Imagine what happens when you focus your energy on God and God says, "Hey, let me give you some extra keys. I'm going to send your ancestors to go bring you back some stuff that you really need. I'm going to send your ancestors back to go get you something that you really need so that you can walk through this beautiful, wonderful portal." Right? This is mystery schools, people. This is mystery schools. This you reading books in mystery schools, right? On some Hogwarts type stuff. Okay. What else, Spirit? Yeah, family, circle of life. Yeah. You go into mystery schools, you start finding your soul tribe. Okay. Now, each one of you gets access to your Akashic records. Each one of you gets your own set of school classes to go to, but you still show up together to do something in whatever realm. Let's say it that way. Yeah. In whatever realm you happen to turn up in, right? Since we're here, our realm would currently be Earth. Okay. Now, some of you, excuse me. Yeah, goes because it goes together. Okay, look. Review and reflection, time out is needed, and clarity go within. They go together. They do. They do. How many of the monks? I'm trying to get my coordination. Coordinate. Yes, you got to coordinate. The monks, they go up in the mountains, right? The monks, they go up in the mountains to obtain enlightenment, to gain clarity, to open up that eye and gain clarity. Okay? Gosh, even when you see Harry Potter, the opening scenes, they had to go by a train and then they had to get on the boat and then they had to fly. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. Okay? But all of that so that you can get into your Akashic records and figure out how special you really are and what blueprint, excuse me, spiritual yawn, blueprint. Ooh, blueprint. I love that. Mm. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more, please. Top one only. Yeah. From Spirit with Love. Some of you are seeing the birds. I'm with you. We've been seeing the birds. We've been seeing the birds. Signs from Spirit with Love. Spirit says you're worthy of knowing the blueprints. You do have to put in the work with the relationship with the Most High God so that God can give you a direct copy of the blueprint. Um, so that God can help you unlock the hidden treasures inside of your Akashic record. Again, there is spiritual law. There's folks out here messing around with your Akashic records all the time. Um, know that they are being watched. The watchers be watching and they do swift justice. So you see people walking around here looking crazy, trying to do some of these weird destiny swaps. And I'm going to give another reminder, okay? Y'all going to stop with these destiny swaps. You really don't know what the person went through for real, on those destiny swaps. You don't get to take out whatever part that you want. You have to take the whole thing, which means if they were meant to come into something in their 1820s or 25s, okay, and they're now damn near in their 50s, you got to go all the way back to the beginning, boo boo. Because if they're not getting what they were supposed to get 20 something years ago, how long do you think you about to wait? If that person got raped, abused, went to prison, to jail, was on drugs, alcohol, and out, guess what you get to do? Like none of that sounds good. Just so we're clear. But God said what God said. God said these destiny swipes and swaps, see, even swipes. These destiny swaps are being denied. These destiny swaps are being denied. You're not really getting a destiny swap. What you are getting is all the negative portion of the person that you were trying to destiny swap with. That is the penalty. That is the penalty. Thank you. Spirit said to say it, and I'm not about to I ain't messing with the Lord. You do it. No, you do it. Okay. God said I gave you the blueprint. There's no reason to destiny swap anyone. If I gave you the blueprint, each and every one of you has a blueprint. Okay? Each and every one of you is unique. Each and every one of you is beautiful and wonderfully made. Wonderfully made. Wonderfully made. The same way you look at your kids and you think, you know what, you drive me absolutely batty, but you are wonderfully made. My baby is sprawled out on the bed in front of me, sleeping all wild and crazy, but I know that she's the sweetest little thing and that she is indeed wonderfully made. You are wonderfully made. That's how God feels about you. You are wonderfully made. And if you could only see the blueprint that He placed in you, okay? The blueprint that He placed in you is unique and beautiful and has purpose. Has purpose. Good, juicy, wonderful, life lifting purpose. Okay? Purpose. And He makes sure that with your purpose, you have passion. Because who wants to get up and do whatever you got to do and be about it? Who really wants that? Who really wants that, right? So God tries to make sure that your purpose and your passion match up so that you can find joy in it. I love tarot, but I've always been a paranormal kid. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one day, okay? But you are wonderfully made. You are your own unique blueprint. If you could only see yourself the way that God sees you, as beautifully unique and wonderfully made. Okay? Spiritual community, especially, you guys know that your spiritual world is much more real than this matrix stuff we have to deal with every day. Okay? The idea of wanting to randomly um, destiny swap with someone because you poked into someone's Akashic records, do you not know that there's errors in the Akashic records too, and some of them are placed there intentionally? I'm gonna leave that there. The Fates have access to the Akashic records, okay, as well as the Most High God. And yes, there are corrections and errors and moves and pieces, and those are the only ones that should be in there moving, adjusting, rewriting anything, okay? That's the truth. Blueprints. You are the prototype. Who was that? Outcast, Outland, something like that, right? Yeah, Outcast. Cause you are the prototype. You are the prototype. Well, God is the prototype. But then He made you a beautiful little copy, and you got some good stuff in your little copy self. You got something in your little copy self. Okay. What we want to tell in spirit? Do I got the wrong deck? Do I have the right deck? Wrong deck. Right deck? Mm, that's too many. Mm-mm. What else do we want to tell the collective about this wonderful blueprint that they are? Okay, you are blessed with abundance and wealth. Ten of Pentacles. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are wealthy and abundant. Some of you are so spiritually rich, you just don't understand. All we have to do is figure out how to flip the switch. Okay. So you are not only spiritually rich, but then you also become physically rich. Okay. It's that as above, so below energy. Once it gets in alignment, that stuff starts to come on down. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Like the most beautiful rain dance ever. Yes, you want it. And you can have it because it's yours. You beautiful little copy blueprint. Okay. Four swords. Yeah. Relax. Be your authentic self. The world card. Okay. There's great things when you start to sit in your authentic self. When you realize that your blueprint is not supposed to look like somebody else's. While I'm at it, they keep chattering about some. Let me channel the message right, sweetheart. Hold on. So this is for a young lady. Okay, so they were chatting about you this morning, and I didn't understand what was going on. Um, they're telling me, young lady, I don't know you. That I genuinely don't know you. We were probably 10 or 12 people removed, and that's fine. However, you have been in association with two males that have some unknown association to myself or some knowledge of myself. They have used you, honey. And I am really sorry about that. You have a very special gift of your own, and they have wasted your time telling you to copy myself. And I'm hearing one other reader in some capacity. I don't know what it is. I didn't bother to dig. It's not my business. Okay. In copying myself or this other reader, you have covered up your own gifts and you have allowed these two masculines to make you believe that you're not special, that you don't have gifts. God is telling me that you have an amazing gift, but you've been masking it or cloaking it in mine or some other reader's energy for whatever reason. Okay. Uncloak and look at your gift. I am really sorry that you end up in whatever strange physical or spiritual third party situation um, behind the misguidance of these two people or individuals. I mean, I don't really know what their association is to you, but they're telling me you've had an association with at least two men um, that have used you in some capacity for your gifts or your ability to cloak or your ability to harvest energy or something. I don't know, honey. I am really sorry about that. I think that is such low tier behavior. They preyed on you, and I'm really sorry they preyed on you. I pray healing for you because that's some shit. That's some toxic ass, narcissistic, abusive, manipulative behavior. Um, I'm praying extra healing over your mental space because that's a hell of a mind fuck, especially in the spiritual sense. Okay. Physically, we can get over a whole lot of stuff, but not just mentally, like here on some 3D shit, but on some actual spiritual that it messes with you. It does. Okay. Um, whatever this next action is that you were set up to do in somehow copying myself or copying some other reader. Um, God is saying you heard the warnings not to do it, okay? That you can't afford whatever the next blowback is going to be. I have to put my energy somewhere else. So I, again, am not digging into your situation. I'm just being made aware to tell you whatever your next plan of action was supposed to be to copy myself or whoever this other reader or spiritualist or whoever it is. Um, You heard God tell you to not do it. I highly suggest you not do it. It is not going to be worth the blowback. Okay. Um, God is saying you barely made it through the last one. Don't push your luck. Okay. Again, they're confirming I don't know you. I've never met you. But you have some knowledge of myself or this other person in connection to some masculines somewhere. Okay. Um, don't allow yourself to be used. You are beautiful. Okay. You really are your own blueprint. God has something good for you. You just have to make a conscious decision. I'm no longer going to be used. Um, I'm no longer going to be used for my gifts or my capacities um, against other people because inadvertently it's against myself and it's against spiritual law. Okay. Um, I love you and I'm praying for you. I know it's rough. Um, ooh, baby, I know it's rough. I know it's rough, baby. I'm sorry. I can feel it. I feel your confusion. I feel your anger. Um, I feel your disdain for the situation. Um, I feel your heartbreak. I feel your heartbreak. I am praying deep healing for you, sweetie. I'm so sorry, but you heard God. Whatever it is your next plan of action was supposed to be, to copy or steal or to move or however it is, or harvest, however it is you were going to do it, please follow God's instructions. Whatever spirit guides, deities that you are working with, I feel like they're all telling you, like, stop, baby, stop. You are worth so much more than you're putting yourself through for the benefit of somebody else that's going to watch you fall. They're already not there for you. They're going to watch you fall. Okay. I'm going to back on out of that one for the time being. Okay. I just needed to say it because Angel Radio was a chitty chitty chatting about you, honey. Um, if you needed to know that you were special, Angel Radio is trying to get your attention to tell you, boo boo, you are your own blueprint. There is something indeed. You have a gift, baby. It's being used incorrectly and you're being manipulated to use it incorrectly. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, baby. We're not doing that. Don't do it. You'll feel better in the morning. Don't do it. Okay? Onward with the message. You are the prototype. Well, God is a prototype. God is a prototype. But again, you are a beautiful, wonderful blueprint, individually made. Now, whoop, take joy in that. Take joy in that. Okay? What else we got? Achievement in the upright. Mm, crystals and achievements. Okay? Be yourself. Be your most authentic, beautiful, crystalline self. Okay? That leads to great opportunities for you. At least for great opportunities for you. What did he say? You got the keys, 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 keys. You got keys. You got keys. Okay? Look, I just talked about healing, right? Healing. God gives you the blueprint for your growth, and He gives you the blueprint for indeed the healing that you need. Okay. I don't know of any building that's ever gone up that didn't have a hiccup or two, right? If you consider that to be an injury, yeah, it needed some healing. It needed healing as it was being built. Mm. It needed healing as it was being built. Don't tell me you don't get it. You needed healing as you're being built. Nothing is perfect. It's not. Again, not a building that's ever gone up anywhere that didn't have a hiccup or two. And if you consider that an injury, yes, you need healing while you're being built. Okay? Your blueprint has space in it for that. What is it? Margin? Your blueprint has a margin for that. Thank you, Spirit. What's next? Crown, your personal power. Put your crown on. Put your crown on. Put your crown on. Look, and go be the most mother amazing star that you are. Divine guidance. You are divinely guided and protected. That's what you want. Look, 33. My bro showing up already. 33. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. 33. Oh, Jesus. Okay. You bring that good balance in, that yin and the yang and the thing. Yin yang and the thing. Okay. That's what your blueprint's about. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you. Blueprint. 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 Okay. What is the blueprint important for? There is a blueprint that needs to be discussed or looked at for a water sign, a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio in the collective. Maybe you needed confirmation that you're special. Maybe you need a confirmation that you have a blueprint or a plan that is you have a plan. How do I say that? God is saying you have a plan, but it doesn't have all the pieces that God would prefer your plan has. So go back to the drawing board is what I'm hearing. What else for this water sign? Or God told you to scrap a plan? Scrappity scrap scrappy. What? What does that mean, guys? What is send a message, don't send a message. Send a message, don't send a message. Send a message, don't. Something's weird about a water sign trying to send a message. Like there's a blueprint, or they're trying to write a message, or they don't know how to write the message. Like, yeah, it needs some type of balance, y'all. Look at this thing. Look, right? What it's supposed to look like, and then where's the water sign is sitting. Like, there's some type of balance needed in this plan for a water sign. For a water sign, is somebody that has water sign heavily noted in their charts. Something about traveling, vacation. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how to do both of these at the same time. I'm gonna figure it out, right? So a little bit of balance, okay. And then here too, right? Looks the same. Something about balance. Something about vacation or moving towards something or away from something. Closing a cycle. Closing a cycle. Expect to hear from them soon. Something about somebody being back. I don't know. I feel like this came up in the last one. Something going on with a water sign and somebody that has how water sign highly aspected in their charts. You need to look at or discuss, or there's something about not your personal blueprint. I want to say that you as a person, your personal blueprint is what it is, but you have to accept that your blueprint is indeed not like someone else's, and you can't force uh not that you can't try not to man, like these thoughts. Like I know water signs, you guys are supposed to be emotional or considered emotional, or you get deep in the situations, right? This feels like deep, but also scattered or wish wash. There's something that there's something inconsistent with the water sign thought process, or just thoughts, which is probably why the blueprint doesn't work. It's kind of like if you were looking at a blueprint on the table, but you're crying, right? It's blurry. It's something is obscured. Thank you. Something is obscured. Something's obscured. Obscured. Okay. A love spell. Holy shit. You've been bewitched. There's some kind of weird ass love spell. Something's backfiring. Intuition. The red flags you ignore now will become back to bite you later. There's some weird ass love spell. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, the thoughts are all. Didn't I say in the beginning about people messing around with this magic stuff? Like your spiritual life, I promise you, is more real than your matrix one. Okay, so there is something out of balance. So we started off knowing that there's a blueprint and people need to stay out of other people's Akashic records and trying to steal people's destinies, right? But inside of that is a whole lot of manipulation with people's um, divine union. Somebody trying to mess around with a divine union. Somebody waking up to there was tampering with a divine union because somebody was tampering around in somebody's Akashic records and somebody's destiny. Somebody tried to steal Harry Potter's invitation to Hogwarts, is what I'm hearing. Can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, that was for me. Let me see that. I don't mean the situation, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. Open your heart up. It'll help you attract more love. Yeah. Somebody's trying to stop a divine union. So I feel like somebody's literally trying to pour salt or sicken or mm, black out, black out or fade out the thought process of love. Uh, love, acceptance, loyalty, building, right, legacy, those things, right? That takes a lot of passion. Someone's trying to kill someone's passion. It makes sense. Water sign emotions. Okay. Somebody is heavily entranced in this love spell stuff over a water sign or has heavily water sign or has heavy water sign in their charts. Now, for some, mm, I don't think this is the person's. I don't think this person really is like a sun sign, water sign. I think this is just highly aspected in their charts. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I don't think this is their whole sign. I don't think this is it. I think this highly aspected in their charts. Someone does want to get away because they realize that the cycle has ended and that there'll be this love spell. But the love spell is supposed to be making this person come back, and it's not going down because somebody's intuition is on flame, is what I'm hearing. Somebody's intuition is on flame, and their heart is open up to a new beginning. Thank you. Okay. Um, Now, there's also somebody that wants to go to somebody because the cycle has ended and they feel like love is literally calling them. They are correct. Their heart is open and they're using their intuition and they're moving forward in order to go get that. I heard I'm going to get my wife. Ooh, shit. Listen, I heard I'm going to get my wife. I'll be back. They'll be back. They'll be back. Somebody said they're going to go get their wife. Ciao. Okay. So there's a lot of emotion here somewhere, but there's a blueprint. Somebody has made a plan. I've been making plans. Oh, love. What is that? Was that Wale? Wale and Usher? I've been making plans. Matrimony. Matrimony. Somebody making plans. Again, I don't know that this water sign necessarily means that that's what they actually are. If they are, great. If not, I really just feel like it's just, there's a lot of emotional energy in this person that is highly aspected in their charts, especially if they just figured out that somebody has put a love spell over them to make them stay away from someone or stay with them, regardless of if they were wanting to move towards something else or not. Okay. I just heard another come hither, come hither, come hither. Okay. This butt end of Mercury retrograde looking crazy. Y'all focus on closing out these cycles. Focus on closing out these cycles. These aren't these aren't I don't want to use the word healthy. That's not what it is. It's almost wasteful. That's what I feel like. The energy is wasteful. It's like somebody gives you official blueprints and then you go lay paper next to it and you start trying to draw it and you wonder why it don't look like it because that's not your specialty, that's not your gift, that's not the thing that you do, and you're messing with a plan that's already been made. It's already been made. It's wasteful to me. Resurrection, Yamaya, yeah. To rebuild something is wasteful, and then you got to go back and rebuild some shit. Now, right now, whoever it is that's leaving, that's going towards love, they about to build some shit. Ancestors is down with this one. Witch, metaverse, alchemy, yeah, the ancestors is down for this union. I heard the ancestors is working together. Like you have your team and they have their team, and so now your teams are working behind the scenes together. Hmm. Conjuring legacy, conjuring legacy, conjuring, yeah, legacy. That abracadabra energy together, Lord. And there we go again to bring out balance. Look at God up there at the top. Rah. He's just up there sunning it down. Okay. Didn't I say in the last reading the sun follows them? Somebody, the sun follows you, and that's how you know that you belong to God. The sun follows you wherever you go. And I can see it too. The sun follows you. Okay. Universal oneness. Yeah, that infinity love. That divine union, that infinity love, that forever love. This is like a this is not a twin flame. This is a soulmate, like heavy soulmate. This is a heavy soulmate. Yeah, look, the Egyptians came right on through again. Yeah, Ra. Didn't I just say that? Sun God Ra, the one, the one, the Almighty. Yeah, essence, not a Baruchu. You both could have African descent. You both could have connection to the Orisha. Didn't I say the ancestors working together? What if both of your ancestors is the Orisha? Mm. Didn't I say that? Connect abracadabra. The abracadabra energy. Yeah. I love that. That's nice. Mm, that's nice. You are the blueprint. Let me touch the Kipper deck real quick. There's some heavy soulmate action in there. I love that. Look, the ancestors. They're telling me the ancestors is on it. Yeah, great fortune. The ancestors is watching this connection. Whoever this is, they watching these Akashic records. They watching this hand of destiny. They're watching the emotions over this connection. They are watching that this blueprint, whatever the blueprint is, was, and will always be, they watching this one. They're watching it for this divine masculine. I say he making plans. He made plans. Look, not only is he's got something. Okay. This is like double. That's a king right there. Fuck that. That's a king. That's an emperor energy. Okay. Imprisonment in reverse. Yeah. This is a divine masculine right here. He ain't sleep. He broke out the matrix. Okay. He's looking at a woman with a message of concern about taking a journey. Didn't I say there was a vacation or a trip? a whole new pathway, going to God about some concerns, feeling wiser, a mature man, feeling wiser about the information he got from his records. Look, all them books. Bad health in reverse. Feeling better about the decisions after he's talked to the Most High God. Poverty in reverse. Okay, we said he's a wealthy man. He makes good decisions. Okay, so he's no longer in bad health. He's not lack minded because the Most High God said so. High honor. There is a divine masculine out here that has made plans. Look, he may even be making plans for a baby. Aw, okay. Yeah, that's so cool. That's cool. And my heart's beat. Bump, bump, bump. All right. Spirit is saying that's all I got. We're not going to pull another deck. But I hope you got the message, loves. You are wonderfully made. And if no one else tells you today, because we're certainly past midnight and we're into Monday officially, you are wonderfully made. You are the blueprint and you are exactly the way you were made to be. Um, you don't need to cloak, swap, idolize, copy, steal, manipulate, none of that. None of that. None of that. Okay. You are your own blueprint. And yes, there's a little bit of wiggle room because your growth has to be in there, right? God permits that. And before you start trying to make any changes, go back to the originator of the blueprint so that you can remain in alignment with your hands open to receive whatever the Most High God has for you. Okay? Life and death is in the power of my tongue, and I choose to speak with truth, compassion, and most importantly, love. Mwah.